Hey there, it's Trisha, and I wanted to go over today, Monday, October 18th. I'll go over the NQ because that's what we traded, but I'll also go over a couple things on the ES as well. I have a webinar scheduled for Thursday, October 28th at 8 p.m. If anybody's interested, go to the website, and that's www.easyemintrade.com, and you can get information on the setups and also the upcoming webinar. And space is limited, so make sure that you sign up early. So here's the NQ. I think you could probably see this. It's hard to say how it shows up in the video, but here's the open here, and here's the open here on my broader view. And I don't usually do anything right off the open. Here at basically 9:34, the close of this bar here, you get a setup occurring. You get your indicator crossing below zero here. And for me, I like price to be below the moving average over here on the broader view on the NQ. I'm using a 3,000 tick chart. And when this set up, it was not below that. So nothing for me to do. It actually didn't get below it until here. So that's too late to get in. Obviously, it worked out, but I like to be on the upside of this moving average here for buys, under it for shorts, and I take it with the overall trend. So nothing to do there. Here I get a buy setting up, and that was at 940, and actually the close of that bar was 941. It's actually here on this bar, one bar back, but I like to wait for the slope of this moving average here to at least start higher for a buy, and also here on the broader view. I'd like it to be in line as well, and it was, so okay here, but here I waited one more bar because that's when this moving average started to slope higher. Know the target area above me because it held here. We've got our high here. We've also got 2100, which is a round number, so usually those round numbers tend to hold up. So that was the target area, and obviously it made it there. So and then some. So depending on how you manage that, you got your first two targets, and then if you were trailing. A short setting up here, crossing below zero, not interested in a short because my moving average here is heading higher, this one heading higher, so not interested. Here I get a short setting up, and that is at 1022, and take it, looking to get my first targets of 2 points setting up, and everything's okay here. This is sloping lower. This is just starting to slope lower, so I'm okay to take it. Once in, and it wasn't really going anywhere. This was the area that once in expected that it would hold up, and it did. If you look here in the morning, that was an area of support if you look to the left here. So it actually held up and then turned into a strong area of support all through lunch. But the trade worked out for the first target regardless. Then moving the stop to the entry, and or tick better than entry, then stopped out on the remaining contracts at break even. So depending on how you manage that. And here, this is right before lunch. You get a short setting up. Now this is the target area right here. It has to be at least considered because it held here and it held here. So if you took something here at after that 11:01, I think it was 11:06, everything's in line to take it, but this would have to be your target area. So you'd have to decide if there's enough room for you to take it, and you get lucky and it keeps on going. So great. Also, I'll point out when the ADX is the yellow here, gets outside the DMIs, you'll notice that usually what will happen is price will stall and bounce, or just stall. And so as soon as it crosses outside right there, you can see you get your stall and your bounce. So just something to consider in helping manage your trades once you're in. And this is during lunch, so I don't trade during that time, and you can see you have a very narrow range there, so nothing to do there with that until it decides to break out or break down. And this is the area picked out this morning at 89, which held as support. So below that or above this area here would be a nice place to look for a buy. Actually, the setup set up one bar back here, and I did not take this, but anybody who's interested, obviously it worked out really well. And that was at 214, actually 217 when the bar finished. And you could have gotten in a bar late right here when you got closed above this area right here. and this would be your target area right here. Once you get your first target of 2, you move your stop to a tick better than your break-even point, and you actually get stopped out on this bar right here at your entry. So you wouldn't have already been in, you would not have still been in this trade to capture this final move at the end of the day. All you really could have done if it fit your trading plan is when it pulls back here is just take it. And again, too late in the day for me, but it may fit some of your trading plans. Also, I want to point out that Debbie in the room has been using a 60-degree slope, requiring a 60-degree slope on her entry chart and on her broader view of the market, and she's making both of those agree before taking her entries. And so a lot of times she's not able to get in on that first MACD crossing above 0 or below 0, but she's able to take the pullbacks. So I find that really interesting, waiting for that slope to match, at least just for the pullbacks. It's a little too conservative for me to take my initial entries like that, but on the pullbacks, if you have this turning back to green and then a pullback in price, and you've got that slope sloping pretty strong here, it's as we've been saying all along, don't take those pullback entries with the indicator turning back to green here unless you have a very strong move. And by requiring that degree of slope on your moving average here, or any steep slope, whatever you determine to work for you on that and your broader view of the market, that can be very helpful in deciding which re-entry opportunities to take. She's using a 1597 tick chart as her broader view, but I still like this 3000, so you can mess around with that a little bit and see what you think. On the ES, you didn't really have anything off the open that was setting up. It had already set up. So here would be an opportunity for a re-entry at, let's say 940, and resistance right above you at the close of the previous day. Not sure anybody would be willing to take that. As I've been trying to point out, those re-entry opportunities when you go back to green, for example, for a buy, are best taken when you have a very strong move. So you may have wanted to pass on that. Here would have been an opportunity for a re-entry, either here or here at 10:08 or 10:10. Nothing to do here. Taking it with your slope, you're only looking for buys. And then pretty much quiet all during lunch, as we pointed out. You wouldn't be interested in this short because you're right at support that is held and held and held, so you'd pass on that. You get this buy setting up here during lunch, and again, it's pretty quiet, and a good way to determine that things are quiet is you can look at the ADX DMIs, and everything's all tangled up down here. So not a lot going on. You'd be best to wait for it to break out or break down. Here it's about the same time when the NQ broke out. You have this consolidation area here. So all you really could have done was look to take a buy when that area gets closed above, and this just increasing in size. That's about all that you could have done on that. So I hope that helps. And if you have any questions, you can always shoot me an email, and information on the setups, www.easyemintrade.com.